Another great way to become a little bit more present and a little bit more mindful is, of course, through our breathing. So today I want to offer a short practice focused on some movement, but primarily breathing, as a way to sort of bring our attention out of perhaps our thinking and planning mind and a little bit more fully into the body and into that direct experience of really being here and being now. And the idea with this is that, of course, it could be a little standalone practice, but perhaps also a little preparation for some other self-care rituals that you already have in place in your life. We'll start standing and then find our way down into a seated position. You don't even need a yoga mat or yoga clothes for this. So this is really meant to be very practical, as something that you can use throughout the day. And when you're ready, come on up to stand and let your arms be by your sides. The feet hip width or even a little wider if you like. And we'll start with this really simple swinging twist, turning our shoulders from left to right. The arms are very loose here, so just notice arms are just kind of flopping around the body. And so I want to start with some movement because I often find that it's easier to access our breathing when we initially start with movement as well, and this idea of coordinating movement and breath. So as the movement just kind of keeps happening here, I want to invite you to see if you can inhale as you come to center and exhale as you turn to one side. So you're breathing in through the nose, out your mouth with this gentle ha sound. And try this just a couple more times to each side. And then what I want to try is keep the movement going, but slow down our breath a little now. This time, can you inhale as you turn to one side? Exhale, turn to the other. Try that a couple more times to each side, and then we'll slow this down even more. Can you inhale over the course of 2 movements? And exhale over the course of 2 of those twists. And try just one more big breath in, big breath out, and then let that movement get a little smaller, a little lighter. Come to center, take a nice big breath in here. And exhale, let that go. All right, one more, same idea, movement and breath. We'll have arms come forward to about shoulder height, bring them up towards the ceiling, and then open your arms out and down. So essentially it's 2 movements for the arms to come up and 1 movement to bring them back down. The breath will be as followed. We'll inhale twice and then exhale 1 time. Find your own rhythm, and we'll try this maybe about 5 more times. Last one. And then start up again. Inhale, arms up. This time though, exhale, open your arms and let your upper body fold over your lower body. It's really okay for knees to be bent here. Just a way to let your shoulders relax, let your arms relax, let your neck relax, and take a couple of big breaths in and out here. Yeah. Start to roll back up to stand, so the knees might bend a little bit, and go ahead and slowly bring yourself back up. And this time, inhale, arms out and up, and stand nice and tall. Really stretch your whole body here. And then exhale, open your arms out and down. Let's inhale both arms back, out and up. And this time, see if you can slow down your exhalations a little bit and let your arms come out and down. So the idea here is for you to inhale for about 4 counts. Let arms come up, but exhale for 6. At this point, we'll in and exhale through the nose, and let's repeat. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Try that a couple more times on your own, and you're counting maybe a little bit slower than that. Inhale, 4. And exhale, 6. Just one last time. Take a big breath in. And slowly exhale out. Good. As arms come down by your sides, feel free to close your eyes for just a moment and notice what's happening. So for now, you may, especially with these more active movements, more active breathing also, that perhaps there's a little bit more energy available here. But with that, perhaps your level of alertness might have changed, that you feel like, I'm just perking up a little bit more, a little more awake, more present. Yeah, and take one final breath in here. And open your mouth. Let that go. Find a comfortable seated position, whether that's on the ground or maybe a couch or a chair nearby. Feel free to lean back, get comfortable here, but hopefully with your spine somewhat straight. So we want to make sure that we're not slouching too much. It makes it so difficult for us to really breathe properly. So spine is nice and long. We'll bring both hands to the lower belly for now. And you're welcome to close your eyes and take a few breaths with that awareness of breathing way, way down into the bottom of the lungs, so that we notice a bit of movement, a bit of expansion in the belly. Try just about 2 more breaths here, breathing into the belly. And exhale, let go. One more time, big breath. And big breath out. Now keep one hand right there with your lower belly and place the other hand to your chest or heart center. And now we're going to move into a little bit of a 3-part breath. So the idea for you is to initiate your inhalation in the belly. So as you start inhaling, feel the belly expanding first. Then notice your rib cage opening and expanding. And then finally, feel your chest filling with your breath. And then as you reverse that, soften your chest, release your rib cage, and finally notice your belly deflate. Start again. Inhale, fill your belly, your rib cage, your upper chest. And then slowly reverse that, soften your chest, your rib cage, and your belly. Keep on exploring that, and if it's helpful for you to work with your hands to help direct your breath into these different parts of the body, keep on doing that. If at any point you want to let your hands simply rest on your thighs or legs, you may do that instead. So it's really one smooth and continuous in-breath, but it almost feels like this wave. You're starting from the belly, breathing into the rib cage, filling the chest, and then one smooth, long exhalation as you're reversing that. check in also with your pacing. You may keep your breath a little shorter, or you may aim for longer and even more spacious breaths. So there's certainly some room for you to explore. And then we'll finally sprinkle in one last element. The next time you inhale, feel lungs expanding. And at the top of your inhalation, see if you can hold your breath for just a second or two. So it can be a really short retention. And then take your time to slowly exhale, empty the lungs as much as you can, and then pause briefly with your lungs empty. Breathing in slowly, pausing for a short moment. And then take your time to exhale, followed by a short pause. And so I'll give you time for about 5 more rounds. Keep on exploring. And to discern very carefully, how do we sometimes stretch into just a slight amount of discomfort when we're working with our breathing in yoga? Yes, absolutely, right? Clearly, this is a very different length and depth and quality of breath than what you may be used to from, your day-to-day kind of breath. And yet it's also important to make sure that it does not feel forced or strained or too intense in any way. If that is your experience, take a little break and then join back in again. Yeah. Go ahead, finish the round that you are on, and then finally let your breath return to normal. Stay with your eyes closed if that is comfortable, or just find a soft gaze in your eyes. And to take this final moment here to sit with what's happening in your experience right now. Breath and breathing practices in yoga, pranayama practices, are quite amazing in regulating and balancing our nervous system. And of course, everyone's experience can be slightly different, but it is possible that there is one part in your experience where you feel a little more alert, a little more energized, a little bit more focused. But at the same time, perhaps also a little more settled in your body, a little bit more grounded. More present to your own experience as it unfolds right now, right here. Take one final breath in here. Exhale, let it go. And then gently open your eyes. Thank you so much for joining me for this little mini session. And if you are indeed planning on to explore some other self-care practices for yourself, I hope that was a nice way to prepare for that. Namaste.